Yo, welcome back to Rome with Lazar and Noemi for part 2.
Where we're going to spend the rest of our trip in Cusco, visiting Lake Humantay, Moray, and the salt mines of Maras.
Leaving Machu Picchu Pueblo was a bittersweet situation because as much as we wanted to see what Cusco had to offer, we didn't want to leave.
To lift our spirits, we went to KINTARO, a Japanese restaurant with a Peruvian twist. We ordered steamed gyozas, Katsu-Don, and pasta Acevichada. On the way to the outlook at Plaza San Cristobal, we climbed up the escaleras de Calle Amargura, over 100 cobbled steps to reach one of the best views in Cusco. After the sunset, we walked down Calle Resbalosa to the plaza.
We each decided to try their local craft beer along with classic Lomo Saltado and Peruvian dessert.
We booked a day tour to Lake Humantay for 80 soles per person, which included pickup service at your hotel, breakfast and lunch in the town of Mollepata, as well as a guide for the hike. We begin the hour-and-a-half hike at Valle de Soraipampa, ascending nearly 14,000 feet above sea level.
For those of you that are worried about the hike, don't be discouraged. You can rent a horse and they'll take you up for 80 soles.
When you first set off on the trail, the terrain is pretty leveled. I found it challenging once the incline began, but if you pace yourself and take breaks, it is absolutely worth it. You are allowed to hike ahead of the group if you wish.
Out of breath?
Miserable. Nestled high up in the Vilcabamba mountain range in the Andes of Peru lies the Humantay Lake, the third most visited site after Machu Picchu.
So once we got to the lake, I was kind of disappointed because I saw signs that said you weren't able to jump into the water, and that was my whole goal. Is I wanted to go there and I wanted to jump into that lake and swim.
It's sacred.
I know. I didn't know that. We made it. The hike was no joke at this altitude, but we finally made it. Believe it or not, going down was actually more difficult for both of us than going up.
Yeah, and it just wasn't the rain. It was just, you didn't have any support. Well, at least we didn't have any support because we were wearing low top sneakers. And so you feel all the impact in your heels, your shins, your knees, and you're trying to stabilize your steps as you're trying not to slip down because it's a steep incline. So it was tough.
I'm struggling a little bit.
What are you doing? Put that away. You're in front of me.
Come on.
Try my hardest. If you can complete the hike to Lake Humantay, you should absolutely hike to Rainbow Mountain. It is the second most visited site after Machu Picchu. Back in Cusco that night, we checked out another recommendation, MORENA, where we shared the Ceviche de Trucha, gnocchi de ají de gallina, their twist on lomo saltado, and for dessert, their postre de cacao. It was incredibly rich, with just the right balance of sweetness.
The next day, we spent the morning shopping around for the best prices on tours. For breakfast, we checked out Aulita, located at Calle Teatro.
We had to purchase boletos turísticos to gain entry into Moray. We purchased a 2-day pass for 70 soles each at the Tourist Information Center located on Avenida El Sol.
After purchasing our ATV tour, we drove about an hour outside of Cusco to a small town. And make sure you dress to get dirty. Yeah, make sure you dress to get dirty because you get filthy. The four-wheelers were worth it. Definitely recommend if you're looking for something fun to do.
Our half-day tour did not include the entry fee to the salt mines of Maras, which is 10 soles for each person. Las Salineras de Maras are 3,000 pools fed by an underground hypersaline spring. Locals have been mining salt from the mineral-rich stream since pre-Inca times. If you visit Lima during the cooler months, you'll experience their overcast skies. The best way to get around Lima is by foot. We recommend staying in Barranco or Miraflores. Getting around in a car is just unrealistic. The streets in Lima are heavily congested and chaotic. We walked along the coastal path, taking in the scenery. It was very refreshing to see so many people hanging out and walking around. The coast was very lively. We wanted to try out surfing, so we headed to a beginner beach, but then decided against it. The waves were pretty intense.
On our last day, we headed to Bodega Verde to try a fruit that's native to Peru called lucuma. The fruit is one of a kind. If I can describe it anyway, I would say it tastes like mango and sweet potato combined.
We thought we knew what good coffee was. That's until we went to Peru. Colonia was definitely a vibe. With its cozy atmosphere and good music, it made you want to sit there all day. We didn't enjoy Lima as much as we thought we would. We didn't get to try any of the restaurants on our list because you had to make reservations well in advance. But in the end, we made the best of it. Really, anywhere you eat in Lima, it's going to be delicious. By now, we're sure you've noticed a trend. For our last meal, we ordered Lomo Saltado.
Thank you guys for joining us on this amazing trip. Until next time, this is Rome with Lazar and Noemi. The airport is dead, which is a good sign.
Yes.
For passport control.
Yes.
I'm trying to get home, bro.